quiet forests, mist-covered rice fields, and mountain shrines of Japan, one figure moves between worlds, neither fully beast nor entirely spirit. The Kitsune. To outsiders, it may appear to be nothing more than a fox, but in Japanese tradition, the Kitsune is far more than an animal. It is a shapeshifter, a divine messenger, a guardian of sacred places, and at times, a cunning trickster who tests the human heart. The story of the Kitsune begins with age and wisdom. In Japanese folklore, all foxes possess the potential for supernatural power. But that power does not come easily. It grows slowly, over decades, even centuries. When a fox reaches 100 years of age, it is said to awaken to a new ability, the power to take human form. Most often, the Kitsune appears as a beautiful woman, sometimes as an elderly man, always watching. Yet the true measure of a Kitsune's power lies not in its disguise, but in its tails. A fox may grow up to 9 tails over its lifetime. Each tail represents increased age, wisdom, and spiritual strength. When the 9th tail appears, the fox's fur is said to turn white or gold. At that point, it gains what legends describe as infinite vision, the ability to see and hear anything happening anywhere in the world. With power comes mystery. Kitsune are said to create kitsunebi, foxfire, flickering lights that dance in the darkness. Travelers who follow these lights may find themselves lost in forests, wandering in circles until dawn. Whether this is mischief or a lesson depends on the tale. But not all Kitsune are the same. In folklore, they are divided into 2 primary kinds. The first are the benevolent foxes, the celestial servants of Inari. Inari is the Shinto deity of rice, prosperity, and abundance. At shrines dedicated to Inari, fox statues stand as guardians and messengers. These foxes, known as Zenko, are protectors. They ward off evil spirits. They safeguard harvests. They bring fortune to those who show respect. The second type are the wild foxes, known as Yako or Nagitsune. These foxes are untamed and unpredictable. They delight in illusions and deception. They may trick humans, steal food, or even possess those who are vulnerable. Unlike their celestial counterparts, they walk a darker path, not purely evil, but guided by whim, pride, or ancient grudges. Among the many legends, one story stands apart for its quiet sadness and enduring beauty, the tale of Kuzunoha. Long ago, a nobleman rescued a white fox from hunters, injuring himself in the process. Soon after, a mysterious woman appeared at his home. She cared for him as he healed. Her name was Kuzunoha. Love followed. They married. They had a son. For years, their life seemed peaceful and ordinary. But one day, her secret was revealed. Kuzunoha was not human. She was the very fox he had once saved. Because her true nature had been discovered, she could no longer remain in the human world. Before leaving, she wrote a farewell poem on a sliding paper door, a quiet promise and a final sorrow. Their son inherited more than her memory. That child would grow into the legendary Onmyoji, Abe no Seimei, a master of cosmology and spiritual arts, said to command spirits and see demons hidden from ordinary eyes. The Kitsune was no longer just a story. It had become ancestry. Beyond legend, the presence of the fox is etched into the physical landscape of Japan. There are more than 30,000 Inari shrines across the country. The most famous is Fushimi Inari Taisha in Kyoto. There, thousands of vermilion torii gates climb the mountainside in endless rows. And instead of statues of gods, visitors encounter foxes, carved in stone, often wearing red bibs. Red is believed to ward off disease and misfortune. The foxes stand silent. Keys are scrolls held in their mouths, symbols of rice granaries and divine messages. Even Japanese cuisine carries the fox's influence. Inari sushi, rice wrapped in sweet fried tofu pockets, is said to be named after the deity's fox messengers. Folklore claims that fried tofu is the favorite food of foxes. To leave tofu at an Inari shrine is to show respect, or perhaps to ask a quiet favor. There was even a time when fox possession was treated as a medical condition. Until the early 20th century, cases of Kitsune fox possession were documented in Japan. Individuals who spoke strangely, behaved erratically, or claimed to hear voices were sometimes believed to be inhabited by a fox spirit. Rituals were performed at shrines, offerings of rice and tofu made, prayers spoken to persuade the fox to depart peacefully. Today, such cases are understood through modern psychology. But the belief itself reveals how deeply embedded the Kitsune was in cultural consciousness. And the fox has not faded with time. In modern media, its image thrives. In the global franchise Pokémon, creatures like Vulpix and Ninetales directly reflect the nine-tailed fox legend. In the anime and manga Naruto, the protagonist carries within him a powerful nine-tailed fox spirit. Destructive at first, but ultimately capable of partnership and balance. Video games such as Okami and Ghost of Tsushima present foxes not as threats, but as spiritual guides leading players to hidden blessings. Across centuries, the Kitsune has transformed, just as it always has. From ancient scroll paintings to digital screens, from sacred shrines to animated worlds, it remains a symbol of intelligence, mystery, and the fragile boundary between illusion and truth. The Kitsune is not simply good or evil. It rewards kindness, it punishes arrogance, it tests love. And perhaps that is why it endures. Because the Kitsune reminds us that the world is layered, that what we see may not be all that exists, and that sometimes the spirit world walks quietly beside us, wearing the shape of something as simple as a fox. In the flicker of distant lights in the forest, in the silence of a shrine at dusk, the Kitsune still waits.